once again, Linda, tell me where we are.
We're back on Lincoln Avenue, and it's pretty interesting over here. There's a lot of renovations you can see as we're going past. There's a Victorian that we had this listing and it's sold and it's been torn down and a new house has been built. We're going to let this gentleman pass us.
One of the things, let's say, because I worked in a large law firm, if I'm a young attorney, I know I'm going to want to raise my family in Winnetka someday, but they're only paying me a lousy $160 grand a year because I'm fresh. That's not going to get me one of the homes along here. How do I get a toehold in this community? Where do I start? How do I move up here, start integrating into the community?
I think, well, as you're going past there, I'd be happy to answer that in a minute. There's a listing here that's a little bit interesting. It's our company's listing, and this is one of the new construction or newer constructions resale. And this is a little bit below $2 million, about $1.8 million something. Very nice home. And the house across the street I actually sold a few years ago, and they had a swimming pool in it, but they covered the swimming pool as they had young children and they really didn't feel it was something they wanted, so they have a huge lot. This was new construction. We had the listing that when it was torn down, and they built a house that almost looks like it's existed for quite a while now. And this silvery gray house was interesting. Before this house was built, some of the neighbors contacted me and they tried to buy the lot to prevent the house and divide it up, and were not successful, and a house was built.
Getting back to my question,
yes.
How do I get a toehold in Winnetka?
I think sometimes there's been a lot of people over I'd say the last 20, 30 years, a lot of them actually moved to Northfield, and then when they had more of a down payment, or they were more successful at their law firm or whatever, they then moved to Winnetka. I think it's a little difficult now for some of our children or young professionals to get a toehold in here. There are condos that you could buy. There are townhouses. There are there are smaller homes where you can, buy and get a start and then move to your hopeful dream house later.
What would be the low end on a smaller home somewhere in Winnetka, say even as small as a 2-bedroom?
Well, there are very few 2-bedroom houses because a lot of them are bought for teardowns. There used to be quite a few more. There's a new modern house that years ago was sold as a tear down, but some of the houses that were over here used to be affordable and would be, in the 600 or 700s years ago, but that doesn't happen anymore.
Because the land has just become too valuable here, right?
Right, and especially east of Winnetka, you might have a little bit better luck if you were going in a different area, but it is hard.
Northfield is just adjacent.
Yeah, but Northfield, it's different school districts than here. Some of them are into Avoca, which is a district in Wilmette and covers Northfield and part of Winnetka. Plus you have the Sunset Ridge and the Middle Fork schools in Northfield.